What's up? Hey, everybody. I don't want to take away cat cam from you, but I will make it smaller because it is quite a big camera for the cat cam. I'll kind of put it right here. Here, I'll put cat cam up top in the corner. There we go. We'll still have cat cam going. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? How was everyone's Friday? Are y'all ready for some magic ducks? I am. I'm excited. I'm very excited. We got Red Rat, Earl Maid. A definitely European name that I don't know how to pronounce. Wojatechnician. Wojatechnician. I think that's her name. We got Tagrador, Eternal Abyss, Shinzi, Zombie, God of Mangoes today. Exciting. Bum 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 bum. Oops. What's up, Goku Dragon Hearts? Your Lorwyn precons just arrived and you're sleeving them up. That's awesome. That's nerds. What's up, Darth Nacho? Hey, Melly. So, do the Lorwyn precons not have the collector booster thingy in it? Right? They don't have the... They don't have, like, the practice... What do they call that? Oh, Cat has left. Dang, cat cam over. Cat has left. Cat cam was going strong there for a little bit. It might be a dog cam if he comes around. My dog normally gets jealous around this time and comes and sleeps in her old spot because it's still warm. Well, we got some awesome updates today on the website, which is really cool. Super duper duper happy about that. I don't know if you guys have taken a look yet, but just so happy that we've got the website updated. Yeah. I wonder if those like sample collector packs just ended up being something that like costed them more and didn't increase sales like they thought it would. Maybe. I don't know. It was always kind of nice. I feel like every precon should just come with a pack that you can like a seeded pack that you can upgrade, you know, the deck if you want to. Kind of like a sideboard pack. Ooh, precons coming with sideboards. That would be pretty nifty, wouldn't it, y'all? That sounds pretty nice. Precons with sideboards. I'm just saying. And the sideboard can be all like interaction. You know? Like, oh crap, my friends play a lot of really nasty decks. I need interaction. Bum bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba. So how's everyone's Friday doing? Oh, that's wonderful. Tequilos Furious. Oh, I'm so happy. Yes, yeah, I am from Charlotte. Concord to be exact. Good morning, Earl Maid. Happy Lorwyn Eclipse Day. We got to keep Charlotte strong. I'm technically Charlotte, but I'm on the very edge. I'm basically Concord. I am like one of the last houses in the Charlotte area, like in terms of like the edge of it. Welcome, welcome. No problem, Mr. Giprezi. Luckily, me and the mod team are actually fixing any custom deck issues, and reissuing some stuff. Yes, I have officially upgraded to gigabit internet, so streams should look better. Let me know if the stream doesn't look good, if it's messy. Yes, Kuranoa, I have a solution for you. All you have to do is go on the Discord and type in into the little submission form we just put in the announcements, and any issue you have can be resolved in less than 2 business days. The website is defcatmtg.com. Just myname.com. I'll put it in chat. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. But yeah, how's everyone's Friday doing? Gonna quickly make sure all of my most recent decks have been updated to the website while we're chilling and saying hi. Ah, yes, absolutely. Okay, custom patron decks. All right, adding all of these to the correct listings. So that way they'll show up on the website. Anyone doing anything fun with Lorwyn Eclipse today? DefCat charity stream today? No, charity stream will be next week because we are actually receiving a lot of charity gifts from a bunch of my new sponsors, so that way we can give them away. Yeah, we wanted to do more giveaways. And then a ton of people just received their giveaway gifts from the last one we did. And I want to make sure everyone has received their giveaway gifts from the previous giveaway before we do this new one. And so I'm double checking to make sure everyone has received what they've been promised before we do a new one, because that would be very disingenuous of me to not make sure everyone has at least received their gifts from the last one. So I've finally received all the gifts that were promised from the sponsors, and I've been shipping them out. And my assistant has been helping me. Nice! You did pre-releases with your coworkers? That is awesome! What, did you hit anything fun? What'd you build? Nice, KV! Yeah, I have not been to a pre-release in years either. I am a sit at home and open boxes when sets release kind of person, if I even get boxes, that is. I did not open any Magic product for, I think it was a full 6 months, where I didn't touch anything. And I mean, not even, like, not a single pack. And this was when I started my YouTube channel because I basically needed to save money. Draft Night bundle for Lorwyn release a week from today. Nice. The Draft Nights look really cool. That is awesome. It's in a couple hours. Heck yeah. I wonder if I'm getting my Lorwyn boxes now or next week. I'm pretty sure I received them next week. Yes, my Lorwyn boxes come in next Friday. That is when I get them. Yeah, I will receive mine on the 23rd. Yep. Winner gets a collector booster. Love it. Yeah, I agree. Draft is 100% the best way to start playing Magic. I think Commander should not be like the number one. I think Draft should 100% be the number one. Nice. Oh, KV, that's amazing. Yeah, one of the guys that's in our group sold all of his extra lands that he had because he had so many extra shocks, so many extra fetches in his to make his sticker cube that he bought a Gaia's Cradle. Yeah. I love hearing stories about people's collections growing because of the cube. I actually have an email from Card Conduit. Let me see. Because they're also sending me some stuff. Okay. Oh, apparently. Wait a minute. They what? Card Conduit's doing what for me? Wait. Hold on, guys. Wait a minute. Did they? We might have something big. I'm gonna email them to make sure before I say this live, because that'd be very bad if I'm wrong. Okay, I'm gonna hold off on that announcement, because if what they just emailed me is correct, that's wild. Yeah. So all I know is this. Dragon Shield and Card Conduit recently moved on from Ben Bateman. And I know that the day he announced he's no longer working with them, I got an email? Oh. We're sponsored by them. We already know that. That's been confirmed. But at the level in which we're sponsored, it just gotten a little bit of upgrade. Hi, Navi. Come here. Come say hi to stream. Come on. Hey, kitty. All right, guys. Say hi to Navi. Everyone say hi to Knobbers. She's my oldest cat. My oldest pet. Oh, she's biting me. Here, Knobbers. There you go. There you go. Here, baby girl. She's purring so loud. Abby. Hi, baby. That's a good girl. Yeah, she's 11. Hi, baby. I will put you down now, okay? Meow meow. Bye-bye. I love you too. Good kitty. Here, hold on. Let's get the cat cam back on. Let me see if I can put her back in her cat cam. Here, baby. Come on. Look at her. Look at her. Aww. Oh. What's she doing? Hey, get out of my coffee cup. No. Did she try to knock over my coffee? Bruh. Evil. There we go. If she ever goes back, we'll have the cat cam nice and zeroed in. Hold on. Come on. Oh, come here. Here. Here you go. Come here. Look at that tail going. Look at her. Oh, there she goes. No. You want to be up here? You want to come back up? Okay. She wants me to go play with her. Not now, okay? I'm streaming. We're streaming. Not now, okay? Poor kitty. She getting bored. All right, everybody. Let's get into today's decks. Let's get a rumble in here started. Everybody, welcome to Deaf Cat. Shows our custom commander decks, everybody. Let's get into today's decks. All right, everybody. Our first deck of the day is for Red Rat. Red Rat submitted a very, very cool list. Red Rat wanted to do a mono blue, very cool copy commander. Now, I'm going to have to teach all of you a little bit about the Magic the Gathering stack. So the stack has something else called layers. So when something goes on the stack, it also matters what layer it's on. Layers are this kind of like rules and priority of what trumps something else. For example, Blood Moon, the card that says all other lands are now mountains, that card works on the 7th layer. And so Princess Yu works down from layer 1 to 6. So Princess Yu says, when Princess Yu dies, if she was a non-land creature, return this card to the battlefield tapped under your control. She's a land named Moon, and she gains tap, add colorless, and she's still a legendary. And then you can tap to scry 2. So what we can do is we will copy Princess Yu with, let's say, Clever Impersonator, right? Now, the legendary rule will apply, and Clever Impersonator will die, which is Princess Yu. Princess Yu dies and then comes back as a non-land, and comes back as a land named Moon with the tap colorless symbol. But we're not going to copy Princess Yu again. Is it UA or U, by the way? I don't know. It'll come back instead, and we will copy something like, what's a fun one? There's a couple ones I really like here. What's a good one to show you guys? There we go. Let's do Follow Sage. So Follow Sage, UA, got it. So Follow Sage says whenever Follow Sage becomes tapped, you may draw a card. Now Follow Sage will also have UA's tap, add a colorless ability. So now you can tap, add a colorless, and draw a card by copying this. This is just one of the many things that you can copy and use these shenanigans for in this list. And so playing this deck is also obviously a good bit of control. So we are packed full of 23 instants, and I think 17 of which are either destroy spells or counter spells, and then a couple more of them are ramp and bounce spells. The major part of how this deck wins is continuing to abuse this copy mechanic and eventually start copying things from our opponents we really want while being at a massive card advantage. Consecrated Sphinx being the big hitter in this deck to do that with it. I cannot stand this art for Consecrated Sphinx. I love this art though. Woo! But this is also a budget deck, so I gotta update it to cheapest. So this deck, USD, according to Moxfield, any printing is $450 currently, and then on the low end, $400. So this was the budget given to me for this list while maintaining a level of competitiveness, so bracket 3. We're also going to be using some ways to get infinite turns through Teferi Master of Time, which is really great, being able to copy triggered abilities by tapping. So we're going to be doing that with Teferi Master Time in this list as well. But that is a really hard infinite to set up and takes a lot, and that was asked of me in this list. This person didn't want anything easy 2-card combo-y, which I adore. I love that. So, when you're playing a mono blue list, you know, you have to think about tempo and control. You can't keep tapping out for your copies. But now, since you have the ability to tap and add mana, it makes this whole process a lot easier. Whisper3104, hey DefCat, first, how are you doing today? Second, which would you suggest would be more fun to play against a bracket 2 or 3? Marigold Knight with big Chungus guys, or mid-range creatures with utility? I think if it's bracket 3, you probably want more utility. If it's bracket 2, Marigold Knight. Absolutely. Bracket 2 is for big, dumb, fun, wee. Bracket 3, people want to interact a little bit more. That's what I would say. Now, here is the largest part of what makes this deck absolutely cracked. Princess Yue allows you to scry 2 on tap. If you can find Matoya Archon Elder, you can, now your commander says draw 2 after you scry 2. It is nasty. So the more we're able to actually copy Yue and keep that ability and have Matoya out, sheesh, like your card advantage is going to be nuts. You just need to be careful about keeping lands up to actually counter people's stuff that is messing with you or becoming a problem to the table. So, you know, being able to actually utilize Cyclonic Rift would be very important. Which, by the way, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I just heard a little kitty. Oh, I did. She's back. Cat cam is back on. Hold on. Whoops. Hey, kitty. Oh, yeah, baby. Cat cam is back on. We got cat cam. All right, let me edit this so you guys can see even better. The cat cam is back. She's so cute. Oh my goodness. What a cutie patootie. There we go. Kitty cam. Oh, what a sweetheart. Yes, Scry 2 means that you need to pick them up, decide if you want to keep them on top. And if you don't want to keep it on top, then you put it at the bottom of your library. Yes. Correct. Don't worry, learning evergreen and keywords like that takes some time in Magic. Totally normal. There's a lot of terms to keep cards from being Yu-Gi-Oh level like clusters that they make evergreen terms for it like that. If I open the snack, it might move Navi from her spot, but oh my god, look at the Chungus lick on her belly. She knows I'm laughing at her. Do you see that look? Someone clip that. I think you can clip on YouTube now. Oh my gosh. She heard me munching on a snack and was like, ugh. So, Montoya says whenever you scry or surveil, draw a card. And this is scrying 2. So you'll scry, draw once. Because you scried once, you know? I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that. In my head, I'm thinking it's draw 2 because you technically scry twice. Looking at my Toto list from the perspective of I scry every item. Right? Yeah. Yeah. All right, everybody. Let's go to our next deck. Earlmaid. Earlmaid. I cooked. Okay. This submission, so awesome. Definitely the longest I've spent on a commission in a little bit. Okay, everybody. Earlmaid. Let's get into this. Okay, everybody. So Earlmaid made something. Oh, no problem, Whisper. Learning is amazing. Please ask questions on here all the time. Always. Yeah, you are totally good. We love learning here. That's what Magic's about. Yes, the new Lorwyn Dragon is so cool. Yeah, Celeste is already broken as it is, right? Okay, everybody. I'm going to read this out. We are working on a deck that is completely interchangeable. So the idea is that whenever you play this deck, you pick up a different sideboard of 23 cards. Like a full 23 cards every time. And you change them out. It's like a block. So it's a modular deck. So, Rucarmel, I never said this name out loud yet. Rucarmel. Rucaramel. I have dyslexia. I'm sorry. Rucaramel Biologist. So, it says, as Rucaramel Biologist enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Slivers you control and non-token creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other creature types. The same is true for creatures, spells you control, and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. So, the idea is that we are going to modular all of our other creatures to also be slivers. And so, basically, we have this base of slivers to affect the next chosen kindred type that we bring into the deck. So, Earlmaid said, I started playing Magic back in Legions and have had several distinct collecting and playing phases. Concentrated bursts around Lorwyn, Innistrad, and then returning to the game last year through the present. This means my collection has these disconnected chunks of kindred synergies scattered throughout my bulk. Some Lorwyn kindred pieces here, some various Innistrad kindred pieces there, more modern kindred support from recent sets. None of these chunks feels quite complete or powerful enough to build a dedicated commander deck around on their own, but I hate the idea of them just sitting around unused in boxes. So your idea was build this Biologist Commander deck as a universal Kindred console that can accept different Kindred sets, cartridges, flavors, ammo, using Wreck-A-Marule's ability to make all creatures share types, and then combined with slivers. So what we want to do is make this modular ability to bump this bracket from 2 to 3 using something such as elementals, scarecrows, elves, artifacts, and allies. So there were some demanded inclusions: Invasion Tree, Maskwood Nexus, and Sliver Overlord that were put into here. Oh, I put in Hive Lord instead of Overlord. My apologies. I was like, that isn't Overlord. There we go. And then we set this deck at a budget of $325 for the base here. So what we have right here, right now, as you can see, it says with any printings, this deck is $287. Right? It's so cool, Whisper. Totally agree. Mans came back to Magic, came up with the little craziest idea I've ever seen for a deck. I would have wanted to play this viewer in their prime. Oh, heck yeah. Earl is one of our pristine, esteemed guests here. Earl has been working on so much on this channel. He made all of the art you see right now on screen here, making sure that we had a nice, awesome looking Discord. Clips should go in a clip channel I think Soul made on the Discord, if I'm not mistaken. Either we didn't make that yet, or it is there. If it's not there, don't worry, I can add it. Yeah, shout out Earl. Yeah, and then Earl is also working on a top secret project with me and some other people from another channel. I'll make a clip channel real quick on the Discord. DefCat stream clips. Done. All done there. So, let's talk about why this took so long. Realistically, it's like DefCat. All you have to do is throw in some slivers and some, like, Kindred help. Here's the thing. With a $325 budget in a 5-color deck, I had to do some creative thinking for the mana base here. So we have one of every basic, but we have 12 forests. DefCat, how is this a WUBRG mana base? What are you doing? So I included every single shock that has a mountain and or forest type as an extra part of it. And so we have our shocks here, and then our basics, and then our filter lands. What this does is it makes our mana base cost a total of $163. That's an insane amount of our budget. Have a great stream, or have a great day, Whisper. Thank you. So we are spending $163 in the lands, but, and that doesn't leave us an insane budget for the rest of the deck, but I think it was still enough. And then we spent $167 on the creatures, 18 on the sorceries, and 14 on the instants, and around 70 on the artifacts, 18 on the enchantments. But given you can use any printing, it's down to 287 once you do that. So it makes it a lot cheaper. So what we do is we have Kodama's Reach, Cultivate, Nissa's Pilgrimage, Nature's Lore, and 3 visits to go get us different lands that we need in order to still keep the mana base cheap, but really effective. And so we have a huge mass of green right here. We have 8 cards, only green, just in sorceries and instants. And then I made sure to pick a lot more of the green slivers, and then adding some green WUBRG creating creatures to help us out. From there, I picked all of the best slivers to help boost all of the other Kindred Typals packages that we're going to be putting into this. So we made sure that we will always have First Strike, Double Strike, Mana, Vigilance, Flying, ETB, Destroy an Artifact or Enchantment, Flying and Haste, Death Touch, unblockable, more mana, more haste, more double strike, more flying, more lifelink, and of course, our giant, massive, banner on on legs, So Sliver Legion. From here, we now have 23 available slots to put in whatever other kindred block we want to. Elementals, scarecrows, elves, artifacts, allies, anything else now works. So we have the Invasion Tree and Mask with Nexus to help with this. And then we have Thrumming Hivepool, Herald Horn, Vanquisher's Banner, Banner of Kinship, and Chronicle of Victory to also help with this. And of course, Ursus Incubator, because why not? The only thing I excluded from this, because it would have been too expensive for this list, would have been Coat of Arms. I'm highly suggesting, if you got the budget, add in Coat of Arms. I would definitely say Coat of Arms would be really helpful to that. I think that would be massive. And so now you can plug in any other block of kindred characters and it will work. I like how the cat cam has now turned into a lump of fur cam. Like that's all we see is just that tiny little like flump in the couch. It is quite cute. It's really adorable. So outside of this, what we like to see whenever we look into, just for example, how do I put this? When someone comes to the table and you would like to have your idea notated to the group, you're like, hey guys, I've got a deck. It's modular. Here's how it works. The idea is that handing it out to strangers can come off snooty, like, hey, I have a modular deck, and you don't want to come off like that. With friends, perfect, they're gonna love it. The way I would suggest doing this with strangers is that you want to give them the story. Tell them, hey guys, I used to play Magic, and I had these like blocks, these bricks of like only elves, only elementals, and everything that I used to have, and they were largely unused. So I just need you to pick one of these, and that's the deck I'm gonna play. It would be fun. Or don't just tell them that's what you're doing and just go ahead and pick your own block. I don't know why, but the Magic community gets just a little weird with people sometimes at LGSs when people do that. But I have to admit, no one really does, like at a MagicCon, totally give the full story. Everyone at a MagicCon would love to hear that. That's for sure. So at a MagicCon, give the full story for certain. But yeah, so far in testing, I ran it with elves and I ran it with elementals, and it kicked butt. And specifically, Descendants Path. This thing is so nasty. At the beginning of your upkeep, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card that shares a creature type with the creature you control, you may cast it without playing its mana cost. This is a 3 mana enchantment. How is this $1.50 foil? Like, this is the ultimate Kindred deck card. How? $1.50. It's nuts. The original, what is this? I forgot her name. Is it okay? It's Therese Nielsen. I thought it was Rebecca Guay. The original's only 17 foil. Yeah, exactly. It's so awesome. So definitely pick one up while it's cheap, guys. That is not gonna last, especially if I have anything to do about it. I'm gonna be talking about it on videos. All right. Yeah, the secret layer printing's 40 just because that entire secret layer is really expensive in general. Outside of that, to make sure we obviously have our mana done, Prismatic Omen, Cryptolith Rite, and Leyline of the Guild pack are also a part of this package to make sure that we hit all the mana we want. But Descendants Path, I, no joke, hit every other turn with that thing, because once you add in your other Kindred, you have 43 creatures in the deck. So you hit like a 50% rate. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. All right, guys, our next deck is for Woja Technician, and this was a little bit of an interesting submission. So let me read this one out. Woja Technician said, you don't really have a commander in mind. Currently, the commander I use for this deck is Bane, Lord of Darkness. Whatever you think best suits this deck. So let me know how I did, everybody. Let's get into this. I chose the Council of Four. Whenever a player draws their second card during their turn, you draw a card. And whenever a player casts their second spell during their turn, you create a 2/2 white creature token. So let's try that. Hey, Philip. Yes, we have officially rolled out fixes today. All you need to do is go on the Discord and fill out the forum that was just announced, and you'll be fixed within less than 48 hours. I can guarantee it. We have all the fixes available now and all the abilities to do so, and that'll be solved in just a moment. Like, literally 2 business days, you're good to go. Yeah, we officially have fixes. So, I picked the Council of Four for this submission. Let's see how I did. Hey, DefCat. I made a deck a while ago that revolves around you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game cards. I'm looking basically having new and improved deck revolving around the idea, as my deck is very janky and only barely functions with a bunch of game changer cards. The commander doesn't need to stay the same. I'm just hoping for a faster, more efficient deck. I have more of an issue where sometimes I just don't know what cards to keep and take out. Also, I don't have as much knowledge as to what cards are out there that I can use that would fit perfectly in this deck. I'm good with anything in the mid to 3 to low 4 bracket, of course. I don't mind if people hate me, but I don't want the deck to be full of stacks. A couple things I'm hoping for. There should still be a win con outside the conceding as not to stall the game out, and the primary focus of the deck is that you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game, and protecting that before getting to the win con. Aside from that, everything is fair. Color doesn't matter as long as the goal is achieved. So, we are talking about a deck all about cards that say your opponents can't win the game and you can't lose the game. So, let's talk about that first. The Council of Four is the idea of we are sitting back for a long time. This deck isn't about control, it's just about survival. We're not here to stop us from being hit or stop us from getting killed or stop other people from comboing or anything like that. We're not a control deck. We are a survival deck. We don't want to lose. That's it. That's the only stipulation. So, in the idea of not trying to make people like not win, but in the sense that we just survive, this is how we're accomplishing it. So, first off, Cloudsteel Kieran. Equipped a creature has flying, and you can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win the game. We have 7 different ways to use this. Would there be a way to make Gladiolus work? He was the first deck I made, and my friends make fun of me and saying there are better commanders out there, especially in Landfall. Absolutely, there are ways to make Gladius work. Like, completely. Hold on, detour for a second. Hold on, guys. I need to show y'all a little something. Hold up. All right. We're taking a 2-second detour over here, everybody. Hear me out. Everybody. Gladiolus Amicia, 6 mana commander. When it enters, search your library for a land card and put it into the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Then, Landfall. Whenever a landing control enters, another target creature you controls get +2 and gains trample until end of turn. Okay. Hold the phone. Hear me out. The reason your friends believe that this commander isn't good enough to be upgraded or not as good in terms of landfall is we're not punching them in the face hard enough with big creatures. The biggest thing that landfall gives you isn't the +2/+2. It's the trample. And I know ways to maximize this and get this thing out very quickly. If you want me to build it for you, head on over to my Patreon. That's what I'm currently showing off to people. I make custom decks and then show it off on stream for them. So head on to my Patreon. You can get a discounted deck once a month by subscribing to my Duke tier on there. But absolutely, that is more than possible. I would love to build that. So, back to not losing the game. Cloudsteel Kirin allows us to attach to any creature and immediately make any creature give us the you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game stipulation. We have 7 other, not just creatures, but non-land permanents that also state this in the game. And we also have one that is a land. Huh? Did I get you with that one, guys? No one? Huh? Huh? Anyone catch that? Yeah, we're going to make a land into what? Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you heard me. You heard me. So, all you have to do is attach Book of Exalted Deeds onto an angel. We can use an angel land. There is a land from Kaldheim that allows you to attach the Book of Exalted Deeds with an Enlighten counter on it. And then you're now going to be able to keep it as a land. And until your friends find any land destruction, you permanently have you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. It is a full lockout. If no one has land destruction, you win. Oh, that's awesome, Jacob. Absolutely. Very excited to build it. I'll see you on the Patreon and now in the Discord. You'll get access to the Discord and the website. So using Book of Exalted Deeds is one of our win cons as it shuts the game out completely. But we wanted a win con that wasn't just that like we talked about. So this deck draws a lot of cards. So our secondary win con is killing the table through Psychosis Crawler and the 2/2 Knights we're going to be creating constantly. We're going to be using a multitude of ways to buff them up and swing in, including Voldalian Wave Knight. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on each knight you control. So this is our secondary commander in this deck. So the Council of 4, you make a 2/2 every time your opponents cast 2 spells. And then whenever you draw a card, which you will whenever they draw their second card, you get to put a +1/+1 counter on all your knights. So you're going to very quickly assemble a giant knight army and be able to defend yourself by not being able to lose. Sorry for the dumb question, but could I pay for 2 decks? Yes. All you have to do is get on Duke tier, and then you can buy an extra one on the Patreon. Absolutely. We're also working right now on having the website be able to buy extra decks on there directly. That's coming next month. Absolutely, Jacob. Excited to do it. Thank you so much for coming on the stream. Excited to do that. Heck yeah. Also, we're going to force our opponents to draw extra cards through things like Quain. Each player may draw a card, and then each player who drew a card gains 1 life. Then they'll have drawn their second card, meaning we're going to be able to do more. So we have a semi-group hug aspect to this that makes our opponents into these really dangerous monsters with lots of creatures, lots of spells, not realizing they're actually making us super powerful by doing all of that. We then get to use things like Kami of the Crescent Moon to activate and get a knight every single turn by making them draw, getting to draw a card every turn due to the Council of 4. This deck's awesome. It's freaking awesome. The only thing I would say is if you would like to bump it up to bracket 4, all you need to do is put in the fast mana. Everything else about this deck is basically already bracket 4 ready. It just needs to be faster. That's all. Other things that I included in this deck that I thought were really fun. Faramir, Prince of Ithilien. At the beginning of your end step, choose an opponent. At the beginning of that player's next end step, you draw a card if they hadn't attacked you this turn. Otherwise, you create 3 soldier tokens. So I just love that this isn't traditional boring pillow fort where people can't touch you. This is, okay, hey, if you bother me, I'm going to benefit. If you try to go too hard, I'm going to benefit. But if you don't deal with me, I'm also going to benefit. And you're going to start making an army. So it really is the lurking predator of the blue-white decks. And I think is a really interesting angle on what happens whenever you want to go hard in a deck without becoming the immediate threat. And so I would say this deck design is a bit mature. And what I mean by that is this isn't going to be fun for a new player. I remember making this mistake and handing a deck like this to my wife when she first started playing. And she's like, I just draw my friends' cards. I just give people mana. I have to wait till my friends do something to benefit. That's really boring for a new player. They want to be proactive. But the more you play Commander, the more you socialize with Commander, the more you're going to realize that these types of decks have the highest level of skill needed to pilot, and it just makes them so much more fun. A third win con I added to this deck, past the Exalted Deeds Lockout and then the Giant Flood of Knights, is Triskaidekaphile. So Triskaidekaphile is our backup win con. Because we draw so many cards in this deck, we obviously don't want maximum hand size, so Triskaidekaphile solves that. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, if you have exactly 13 cards in your hand, you win the game. And it has a way to draw a card. I have never seen another YouTuber crash out harder than I watched a Maldhound crash out when someone at the table read this card wrong and then gave the other person the win with it. It was so funny. It was so freaking funny. It was just amazing. We got to get a crash out meter on here. So amazing. All right. Our next deck. Ooh. Okay. I cooked hard with this one. So I finished up this deck this morning with my testing group, everybody. It's a very interesting deck request. And if you guys remember, this is actually someone I made a video about recently. They submitted a deck that I found very interesting. Hey, brother, who's on the list today? No problem. Today is Red Rat, Earlmaid, Wojciechnian, Tagrador, Eternal Abyss, Shinzi, Zombie, and God of Mangoes. And right now we're going over Tagradors. So this submission, similar to the video that you may have saw on my channel recently, is about playing a deck strictly for the theme and then making the theme work as best as we can. So let's talk about it for a second. You said strictly, no strict commander ideas. Most I could think of was the Wandering Minstrel because of towns and it sounded thematic, but again, no strict choice. What's up, Jacob? Just made it to Duke. Yes. God, welcome to the community, dude. This is going to be awesome. Thank you for joining. I'm excited to see what I get to cook. I love Landfall. You know me. You guys know me. I love Landfall. They're so much fun, and no one does them like me. Like, whenever I see other Landfall decks, they make them so generic. Ugh. You gotta be zesty with it, you know? So with no commander in mind, I'm going to reveal the commander, then we're going to go into what the submission says. I decided on Fabian, Boss's Confidant. Now, there were a lot of other commanders that this deck could have been, but I think this was the best way to do it. So, creature tokens you control have haste. You have Parlay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each player reveals the top card of their library. For each land card that is revealed, you create a 1/1 green-white citizen creature token. And then creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn for each non-land card revealed this way. Then each player draws a card. I love this deck. I absolutely love this deck. And funny enough, when I picked this deck up, I actually got a horribly like figure deck or just figure deck. Like cards were cut wrong. And so it's like one of those like cool misprint prize possessions I have. And then I got a misprinted box of Dragon Shield sleeves at the same time. I don't know, but that's like so crazy. I ended up gifting the deck to a guy at my church that just got into Magic, and he loves it now. Oh, everybody, look at the kitty. Oh, look at Kibby. She's being so cute. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Here, let me pet her. Oh wait, is that where my? Oh wait, I gotta move her over to pet her. Here you go. Hi, kitty. Pet, pet, pet. Look at her. Oh my gosh, rolling over. Oh, so adorable. Let me fix that box so we can see her a little better too. Oh my goodness, what a cute cat. You have a Justola collector's deck that's misprinted. That's probably worth thousands. Oh my gosh. Have you like put it up on a Facebook page for auction yet? Dog, that's nuts. That has to be so expensive. Holy cow. That's crazy. There we go. Good to see the whole kitty. By the way, guys, how's our music level today? Is it too loud? I have the music muted for me so I can't hear it. That way I can focus more on the decks. I just wanted to make sure we were happy with it. Yep, 2,000. Yep. I was hoping it would be a couple thousand. That makes perfect sense. Congratulations. That is so cool. If you have any pictures of it, join our Discord through the Patreon. I would love to see that. I would really like to see what that looked like. So, I picked Fabian Boss Confidant. Let's talk about why I did for this submission. They said, overall, it's a simple idea. A citizen kindred deck. I would like a deck centered around a bunch of normal people with normal jobs, the citizen type, and otherwise they band together to work on a common goal. What is that goal? Who knows? But a bit of community improvement, a bit of civil disobedience, whatever works. Essentially, I want to make this deck show what happens when people take charge and strike out against the man. In addition, I would also like a Convoke sub-theme because it feels like peeps working together mechanically, however, it's not a must thing. No strong color preference. So, this entire deck is based around only citizens and then using the Convoke ability in order to recast more citizens. I still have some lands and stuff that didn't get picked. Nice, that's awesome. You still have some of the cards. You didn't have to send all of it? That's awesome. So, for Fabe's Boss Confidant, we are literally making citizen tokens every time we go to combat. And then we have tons of citizen reports. So we've got the zoologist and the zookeeper. We got the gala greeter, the chauffeurs, the chefs, the cheering crowds, the gardeners. You know everybody, the kindly customers. The prosperous innkeepers, the Roma gatherers, the cabbage merchants, the vengeful town folks. We are in... Hello, sir. My name's Bob, and I carry a pitchfork territory, everybody. And that's what we're trying to go for. We're making sure that we can do a good job of banding together, which I still can't get over how weird this art looks. It is so funny. I don't know if I like it or not yet. A Flashy Thompson Spider-Man fan, these are the regular people of the Magic universe. Banquet guests, and then a couple of their key leaders like Ginny Faye and Jaheira and Queen Alela or Elenial or Elenal. Oh, there we go. I love being colorblind and dyslexic. How do you submit a deck list? I'm so hyped, don't even know yet. All you got to go is go to the website that is currently pinned up in the chat here and then log in. It'll just use your Patreon when you log in and you're going to be able to submit your deck there. I should put that on the Patreon, and I don't know why I haven't. Oops. Most people join the Discord and get told there, honestly. Let me add that to that tier real quick. Fix that so people know. Submit your deck requests here. www.defcatmtg.com. There we go. That's fixed. Now people will be able to find that. Probably pretty smart, isn't it? Sweet. I'm also going to add a free trial on the $2 membership so people can try out the Discord. We'll see how that goes. Because I don't want to have our Discord flooded with people that could... Actually, I'm going to undo that because we don't want scammers to be able to get in, which is what I'm most worried about and why I've put a $2 blockade on the Discord. It gets people that spam out. All right, y'all. So let's talk about our Convoke Sub theme. I think everyone kind of understands where we went with the citizens in this list, right? So, Calamity of Cinders is no joke. Probably already in my top 10 cards for last year in my review I'm coming out with soon. So, Calamity of Cinders says it deals 6 damage to each untapped creature, but it has Convoke. So you can convoke all of your citizens and then blow up everyone else. This has to be, unironically, one of the best new cards in Magic for Commander, for like casual Commander. It is absolutely busted. Like, more people need to be running this in your red decks, especially red decks that make extra tokens. It's disgusting. And we make so many other citizen tokens in this deck that you're going to have enough to do this with. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, it effectively says board wipe at the expense of possibly doing it for more mana after combat or less mana before combat. It's really, really good. And if you do it before combat, you can still trigger the commander at the beginning of combat and still swing in with the 1/1s that you get. It's really good. And then let me make sure I've added Coat of Arms into this deck. I didn't. Okay, good. I had 99 cards. There we go. Perfect. Coat of Arms in the deck now. Perfect. After that, I flavored everything else to this Convoke ability and things that are more centered around, going together. So Court of Calling, Clever Concealment, March of Multitudes, and then, Unbreakable Formation, the Rite of Harmony, like people banding together, the Grand Crescendo. And I wanted it to be everyone banding together, especially Second Harvest. That art goes so hard. For each token you control, create a token that's a copy of that permanent. Come on. That goes so hard in this list. It's so good. After that, we have some minimal color fixing the artifacts without going too heavy into it. And then we have Anointed Procession. It's literally a bunch of people getting together. Assemble the Legion, Cabaret Ascendancy, Friendly Neighborhood, Rabble Rousing, Prosperous Partnership, and of course, Intangible Virtue. So this is going to give all of our creature tokens +1/+1, a lot of bannering effects, and a lot of ways to help. And then, of course, we needed to fit with the Convoke sub-theme, so we even have a Convoke enchantment, City on Fire, for 8 mana. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that instead. Triple! It goes so hard. That's crazy. That is so much freaking damage, dude. So, I digress. All in all, I'm like really proud of this. I think this deck absolutely nailed the theme. I think it's very powerful for what it is. And on top of all that, I just feel like this is probably one of the more well-crafted ones I've done so far. So let's put it to the playtest and see if that's correct. So we got 1 land, we got 1 mana dork, we have a win con, we have a playable turn 2 creature, and then turn 3 we have a playable spell. We have a backup version of our commander and something to create more tokens. On 1 land, this feels really dangerous. We do have a castable on turn 2, even if we don't find the land, And when it enters, you can untap a creature, so we can even like untap our Pilgrim if we need to. It's not the best hand, and it's just too risky. But if we had one more land in this hand, I'd 100% keep it. All right, next one. We got 3 lands. We have a turn 2 castable. We have a win con. We have a very good convoke spell, and we have a way to make citizens. We're feeling pretty good. Let's give this a shot. Let's put out our plateau for turn 1. For turn 2, we'll do the exotic orchard, and then we'll do prosperous innkeeper, and we'll make a treasure. And then whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. So we're gonna get things after this. Next turn, Arid Mesa, crack for 1 life. Go grab ourselves a Savannah. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's Savannah. Good. And now we can play out our Prosperous Partnership with our Prosperous Innkeeper, which is really funny. And we're going to enter and make 2 1/1 green-white creature tokens, and then tap 3 untapped creatures you control, and you get to create a treasure token. So we will create those 2 citizens. 1, 2. And then we're going to tap our 3 untapped, and we're going to create another treasure token. Pretty good, right? Everyone, it's pretty dang good. And go to our next turn. We'll play a land for turn. And then our human citizen in hand right now says, add 1 mana of any color. If that mana is spent to cast a non-human creature, that creature enters with an additional +1/+1 encounter on it. So if we would like to cast our commander next turn using this, it'd be pretty good, but we don't need to per se. It's more of a smaller benefit, and right now it would be better for us to use our mana to go ahead and cast our commander. So we're going to tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Fabian Boss Confidant. And now tokens we control have haste. Pretty great. We're going to go to combat, and we're going to flip the top card of our other decks. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So flip top card. We got a land, we got a creature, and we got a land. So it says at the beginning of combat, for each land card that you flip, you make a 1/1 green-white. So we're going to make 2 more. And then for each non-land, we put a +1/+1 counter. And we're going to add a counter to all of our citizens. Now, instead of attacking in here, we can actually use Prosperous Partnership instead to make mana. So we're going to tap all 6 of our creatures. We'll have gained 5 life by now, and we're going to make 2 more treasures. And then we're going to be able to use those immediately and cast Animal's Attendant and gain a life. I can hear my cat snoring. Oh my gosh. Let me put the cat cam back up. She's snoring so loud. Oh my gosh. Y'all, she is snoring so loud. Oh, look at her. She's snoring so loud. Oh my gosh. All right, turn 5, everybody. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is disgusting. This is crazy. Holy cow. Yeah, we win next turn. We just straight up win next turn. Okay. So, what we're going to do, we're going to convoke and cast create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens with lifelink. And we're going to pay for everything but 2 red mana. So, we're going to keep this 2 red mana up over here. Keep that up. Right? And then we're going to pay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total mana. So 7, X equals 7 for March of Multitudes. And make 7 untapped creature tokens. Now, we're going to go to combat, trigger our commander, non-land, and land. So we're going to make 1 more token, and then we're going to put a +1/+1 counter on all of it twice. Then For 2 red and 5 Convoke, Calamity of Cinders, and board wipe everybody else. And then on our next turn, Coat of Arms, swing in for 1 billion and win. This deck's built really well. I am very, very happy with this deck. I think this is just absolutely disgusting. And if you put the fast mana in this thing, I mean, it'll win easily turn 4, turn 5. Like, this is cracked. This is absolutely cracked. This is definitely upper bracket 3, like what was asked. I'm really happy with it. I don't know if y'all can tell. So amazing. Alright, y'all. Let's get to our next list. Next is for Eternal Abyss. This is Cecil and Soph. So, this is a Stranger Things. I'm disgusted. I love it. That's what I'm trying to go for. That's what I go for around here. So this next list is revolving around investigating, as many of the other secret layer, or as many of the other commanders are from the secret layer, and then getting to be able to draw a card and lose a life whenever this attacks. Then, if you have 11 or more cards in your hand, you get to cast an instant sorcery without paying its mana cost. So this is this person's first 4-color list, and they want to play it in bracket 4. So we have an excessive amount of card draw as a result in bracket 4. You need it, and ways to turn those clues into other awesome things, such as treasures with an Academy Manufacturer. That really helps. And then whenever we crack those treasures or crack those clues, we can use Crime Novelist to make extra mana for this deck, which is insanely powerful. Now, if you want to go into the depths at which these more complex, intense decks work, you are going to very, very, very quickly find that it is a lot of generic value pieces, such as Lotho, such as Ledger Shredder, Esper Sentinel, Fairy Mastermind, Dothy, you know. But what we got to do in this list, since it's bracket 4, is we get to have a little bit of more convenient, fun play. So we've got things like Rev Tithe Extractor. This is going to be an insane value engine that draws us cards and allows us to take from other people's decks. Ragavan, which is effectively what Rev turns all of our creatures into. Then we get to play Grim Hireling for some removal, some extra treasures. And so as a result, we're going to try to get some extra combats with creatures like Karlach and some of our other sorceries. And then Cecil, when they attack, Cecily, when they attack, we're going to be then casting one of those extra turn spells for free, or sorry, extra combat spells for free. And so then we can keep going to extra combat with these awesome creatures and doing more disgusting things. And of course, Ishin of Two Heavens says if a creature attacking causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, it triggers twice. So now we get to cast 2 instant or sorceries for free. So we have a total of 25 instant or sorceries in the deck, and we have a backup win con of Underworld Breach, plus Lion's Eye Diamond, and where is it? Where's Brain Freeze? Did I not put in Brain? I forgot to put in the Brain Freeze. Give me 2 seconds. And Brain Freeze. So, does anyone here not know the Breach combo? Brain Freeze, Lion's Eye Diamond, and Breach. Because I will explain it. Has anyone here never heard of it? You've been trying to make a deck all about putting down my favorite token, Mirret Lodge. Oh, that's super fun. Ooh, Goku, I don't know. I have to do some research about who would be best. I'm going to assume Omo Vesuva Queen, maybe? So, how this combo works is Underworld Breach in play says each non-land card in your graveyard has an escape cost. The escape cost is equal to the mana cost, but you also need to exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. What you do is you will cast Breach, allowing your cards in your graveyard to have that effect, and then you will cast Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond says you must discard your hand, and when you do, you will get 3 mana of any color. It's like Black Lotus, except you have to discard your hand. Then, from your graveyard, using its escape cost through Breach, you cast Brain Freeze. Target player puts the top 3 cards of their library into your graveyard, and you will target yourself. The best thing about this card is it has Storm, so you will get to copy it for every spell played this turn. So Breach, Lion's Eye Diamond, then Brain Freeze, you're going to put 9 cards from your library into your graveyard. This allows you to continually recast Lion's Eye Diamond from your graveyard, making 3 mana, and then recasting Brain Freeze. And then before you run out of cards in your library, before you completely mill yourself out, you start targeting your opponent's libraries with Brain Freeze. Brain Freeze will continually storm and mill out all of your opponents until there's no cards left in their libraries, and when you go to their turn, they will attempt to draw a card from their empty library and lose the game. So this is a bracket 4 list, so that's why we put it in here. Pretty crazy. Yeah, this is when combos get very intense. And the reason the Breach Brain Freeze combo is so prevalent is it's so easy to put together. Because now all you have to do is get any of those cards in your graveyard and you're good to go once you have Breach. So a lot of tutors make that really easy, especially in this bracket level. We also have one of my favorite cards in the entire game, Final Fortune. It allows you to take an extra turn, but at the end of the turn, you lose the game. But we normally are going to win by the end of that turn because we're going to be using extra combats and things like that to cast things for free from our hand, making it very easy to pull off that combo, as well as being able to steal things like that from our opponent's libraries with Ragavan and Revtithe Extractor. Super awesome cards. For the most part, this deck is meant to be played against other more competitive decks. It is bracket 4, so just keep that in mind if any of you guys go to the website and want to try this one out, as this is this person's first kind of toe dip into the intense side of, you know, competitive Commander. So just be warned before trying this out. All right, Shinzi, we're going to go with Helga, Skittish Seer. Let's read our submission form for this one, for Shinzi. So, Shinzi, you said you were wanted either AC Gyre Tyrant or Helga as your commander, and I was there to decide which one would be best. Oh, okay. We have 9 people watching. I was like, I'm kind of shocked we have so little amount of people watching right now. Where on my side, for some reason, it says we only have 5 people watching the stream. And I'm like, we normally have like at least 20, 30 people in here. Is there something wrong with the audio or anything, guys? I just want to make sure I'm not driving anybody away from watching. Because I would hate to stream to people that aren't interested or anything like that. That would be awful. Everything sounds good? Okay, good. Making sure. So, Helga, Skittish Seer. The request was, I love decks that never run out of cards in the hand, always ramp fast, and lead to playing big scary creatures that completely change what's going on in the field. Cards like Coma, Serpents, Jin-Gitaxias, Core Augur. I love the feeling of knowing I've built up a ton of resources and I'm about to have a huge payoff. I love dragons, Ancient Silver Dragon, though I feel like I previously mentioned cards are more fun. That's why I like the idea of AC or Helga as commander, both offering ramp. And so what I wanted to do is, you said, I think that pretty much describes how I like to play. I love consistent games where I don't run out of gas, and I feel like a Dragon Master that is consistently slamming down endgame bosses. So, we wanted to consistently get out things that are massive, but I wanted to also be able to do this with one of my favorite things, being able to cast massive, gigantic X spells, which also, let me fix this Kiora printing so it's in English for us. Awesome. Oh, come on, Moxfield. Don't slow down on me now. There we go. Whenever a creature you control with Power 4 or greater enters the battlefield, you draw a card. Super helpful. It also untaps a target permanent, which is our commander. Our commander says, whenever you cast a creature spell with value 4 or greater, draw a card, gain a life, and put a +1/+1 counter on Helga. So we're going to be drawing cards like crazy. And then on top of this, Helga helps us cast those creatures. Tap, add X mana of any one color where X is Helga's Skittish Seer's power. Spend this mana only to cast a creature with spells mana value 4 or greater, or creature spells with X in their mana cost. So we added some big X spell creatures like Hydroid Krasis, Hooded Hydra, the Goose Mother, and one of my favorites, there it is, Neverwinter Hydra. As Neverwinter Hydra enters the battlefield, roll XD6. If it it'll enter the battlefield with a +1/+1 counters equal to those total results. This is one of the most fun cards to resolve in Magic, because either people are going to laugh like crazy because of how bad your roll was, or they're going to scream because of how good the roll was. There's almost never an in-between, and it makes it so much fun. I've rolled 14d6 with this before in a game, and I was able to give it haste with Rhythm of the Wilds. It was so much fun. I one-shot someone instantly. Super, super fun card. And of course, we had to add Coma. I'm going to switch it back to its normal printing. That way we know which Coma we're talking about here. And then, of course, I added a lot of ramp because I really want us to be able to get out Helga fast. So I really wanted that in the deck without having to go too hard in the artifact section. Like, this is as hard as I would ever want to go on artifact mana. Otherwise, your deck's just filled with boring junk. But they wanted to make it consistent, so we kept that in mind. That was something we wanted to make sure was still happening. So we're going to be putting Hydra's Growth on our commander, as well as Hardened Scales as an enchantment, in order to make sure we're getting a ton of +1/+1 counters onto that commander quickly. That way we can constantly be spamming more X spells. Thank you, Jaipreezy. Thank you for joining the Kitten Court. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You have now access to my vlog series that I upload. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Kitten Court. Thank you, thank you. So we're going to be upping the amount of +1/+1 counters consistently on our commander. That way when we tap, we're going to be making a ton of extra mana. Helga's Skittish Seer, getting it every time we cast a creature 4 or greater is a big part of that. And another thing is it says mana value 4 or greater, not power 4 or greater, which is a really big part in what makes this great, because then it would normally make casting something, let me get a good example here, like Benevolent Hydra, a little less awkward because it is technically a base power 1/1 originally. So that makes it a lot better. One of the best things in the deck that you can possibly cast is, of course, things that also draw you cards on cast. So Beast Whisper, really, really big for this deck every time you cast. But Apex Devastator works with Beast Whisper because when you cascade, you cast those cards. So it's awesome because Beast Whisper says whenever you cast a creature, Apex still technically lets you cast whenever you cascade. Unlimited fun there. Apex Devastator is a stupid amount of fun. So let's play test this deck just for a little bit and show you guys what it's all about. Show you the level of consistency we've been able to put here. So turn 1, we draw, we tap, and we play Boreal Druid. Turn 2, we did not get a land, but that's okay. So we're going to tap 2 for this Talisman of Progress. And then from there, we're set up to cast the Ozolith for later turns. And again, this is all in one land. This is how consistent this deck can be. So now we have access currently to white, blue, and green. We're just missing a secondary pip. So we're going to cast it, Wild Growth it onto there. And then for, let's see here. Nothing castable yet, which is fine. Little bit of a hard hand. 3 mana, we're going to cast Helga's Skittish Seer. And now we're going to be able to use the extra green and the colorless. And we're going to cast the Hardened Scales. And then we only have 2 green pips, so we can't cast the Whirly Cheers. That's okay. But we'll cast Hardened Scales for next turn, and we are set up for massive slams now. So we have access to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana right now. We can either set up a big next turn or go ahead and start making sure Helga gets even bigger. So that's what I would prefer to do. So 2 colorless, floating a green, put Hydra's Growth onto Helga, and then 2 more mana, Talisman, and then the Talisman for a Worldly Tutor. And then we're going to go grab a creature with mana value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want a 6 mana creature for next turn. Something big and fat we're about to slam. Let's see here. What's a big 6 mana? Oh, yeah. AC. I'd say AC be pretty fun, but we don't have lands in hand. So I want to find something that would help out a little more than that. Homa's 7 mana, sadly. And we don't have 7, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we only have 6. The biggest thing about making decks consistent is understanding the mana situation with Magic. And that is going to be a big video I put out this year, because a lot of people don't understand how important mana basing is. But yeah, it's mostly about mana basing and making sure you understand the deck's curve really well. So for a fun 6 mana, I think we're going to go with Hydroid Krasis to draw cards. Yeah. So we'll shuffle our library, put Hydroid Krasis on top, draw. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hydroid Krasis, X equals 4 for 6 mana total. And then on cast, trigger Helga. We're going to put a +1/+1 counter onto Helga, but we add a second one. Oh, actually, it already has a +1/+1 counter on it due to Hydra. And then at the beginning of upkeep, we double. So we have 2 up to 4. We just casted this, so we're up to 5. And then if one or more counters we put on a creature, you double that. So we're up to 8. So Helga Skittish here now, X equals 8, which is insane. And X mana of any one color is what we get to make with that. Hydroid Krasis comes in, and then we enter the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, which is going to be 1, 2. Oh, it's got to be counters, not toughness. Reset the power and toughness. 1, 2, not 8. I keep forgetting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you gain life X equals to equal X, rounded down, and draw X cards. So we're going to gain 2 life and draw 2 cards. We did it. We hit the land. Heck yeah, baby. Now we can tap Helga to make 8 mana, tap Exotic Orchard, and cast Hamza, which will put 2 +1/+1 counters onto our commander. And creature spells you control, that you cost 1 less to cast for each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it, which currently is 2 of our creatures. So now our other creature that we have, our god, is now 2 less to cast. We have 3 mana still floating from our commander tapping, and we get to play Kymmetra. And also, I believe we should draw 3 cards now from Hydroid Krasis, Hamza, and Kymmetra being cast. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, so you can see turn 6, the deck just explodes, and we were on 1 land for 3 turns, and we still pulled this off. It's just such an insanely consistent deck. It's so much fun. Awesome. Let's go on to Zombie. Zombie, you asked for a fling deck with Minx and Boo. Let's go over that. So, Minx and Boo, Timeless Hero, 2 generic, red, green. When Minx and Boo, Timeless Hero enters the battlefield and at the beginning of your upkeep, you may create Boo, a legendary 1/1 red hamster creature token with trample and haste. For +1/+1, put 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target creature with trample and haste. And then -2, sacrifice a creature. When you do, Minx and Boo, Timeless Hero deals X damage to any target where X is that creature's power. If the sacrificed creature was a hamster, draw X cards. Minx and Boo, Tireless Hero can be your commander. So, Minx and Boo, Tireless Hero, 4 mana. We want to sacrifice a creature, and then we're going to do X damage. So we have a lot of creatures that we want to fling, and we're flinging specifically their power to any target, as well as drawing that many cards if it was a hamster. So, one of the best ways to do this, obviously, is make all of your creatures a hamster. So we're going to add Maskwood Nexus into this deck. So that way we always draw cards. And then we also have a multitude of massive creatures that are cheap to cast. Ghalta, Primal Hunter, is X less to cast, where X is the total power creatures. So for 2 mana, and then activating our commander, we can deal 12 damage to any person and then draw 12 cards as long as we have Maskwood Nexus out. Freaking awesome. We have lots of ways to make extra mana. We have an insane amount of mana dorks in this deck, so it builds up really, really fast. And then, of course, Jumbo Cactuar. Time to, like, absolutely annihilate someone for blinking at us. We can swing in and activate after our secondary main phase and fling 10,000 damage at somebody. Life gain players, be wary. Outside of that, this deck also aims to create large creatures from earlier creatures. So Tauron Mauler says whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may put a +1/+1 counter on it. And then we have creatures that'll also double those +1/+1 counters. Oh yeah, this is the definition of overkill. It is absolutely hilarious. I have no idea who in the design space decided to actually translate a real Final Fantasy ability 1-to-1 into Magic, but I applaud them. I applaud them greatly. It is awesome. We also have Hexing Squelcher to make sure that our spells can't be countered. It would have been, really awful to have tried to cast these things and them get countered, especially since we're trying to fling them. So it's kind of like a double loss. But another one of the things that I love about this deck, talking about things that get bigger, is Mossborn Hydra and Managorger Hydra. They say whenever a player casts a spell, you put a +1/+1 counter on it. And then Mossborn Hydra, you double the amount of +1/+1 counters on it every time you have landfall. So I love spells like this. It makes the deck super fun because then you have this inevitable bomb growing that you eventually fling at people. It's sexy. I love it. It is very, very, very fun. Outside of that, I did put in a pretty considerable amount of interaction for a deck like this. We have Beast Within, Snakeskin Veil, Deflecting Swat, Heroic Intervention, but then things that are like semi-evasion / interaction is Invigorate and Vines of Vastwood to basically make sure if someone tries to kill our creatures, we can stop them. But it also helps us because we can make a creature bigger than fling it. And the biggest thing we want to make bigger, obviously, is Minx and Boo. So when Boo gets created and we make our hamster, we can then have a 7/7 or an 8/8 Boo get flung and draw 8 cards instead of 4. Really, really, really helpful. And on top of that, we want extra +1/+1 counters to be put onto Boo because Boo is a 1/1 with counters being put on it. And then, of course, if we can Colossification Boo, turn Boo into a 23/24, yeah, that would be pretty hype to fling. I would love that. That would be very funny. I would also love it if Boo was technically considered a commander token. I really wish they would have thought of that when making this, because then it would have been commander damage flung at you. That'd be so funny. Yeah. This commander is so powerful, it actually saw play in Legacy for a while. If you can believe it. When Ragavan was still relevant, or sorry, still unbanned. So cool. So a very fun fling deck with an additional +1/+1 counter archetype with it. Super consistent, as well as has lots of card draw. Zombie, I hope you enjoy. Our last deck of the day is for God of Mangoes. They wanted me to push Roxanne to its absolute limit. This is the most powerful Roxanne deck in bracket 4 I could think of without adding in boring CDH combos. So we are going to be turboing out Roxanne turn 2 every single game. Absolutely. All 5 mana should be good to go by turn 2 every game. If you keep a hand and it can't make it by turn 2, mulligan, baby. This deck is full of mana. Like, absolutely bonkers with it. And then on turn 3, we should already be abusing that when Roxanne enters or attacks, create a tapped colorless artifact token. We're going to be going nuts with those artifact tokens because it says, whenever you tap an artifact for mana, add 1 mana of any type that artifact can produce. You get to make additional mana. By turn 3, you should be slamming Ancient Copper Dragon, Atali, Cavern Hoarder Dragon, Goldspan, Old Gnawbone. You should be slamming City. And if you can't find them, don't worry. Go find them with Finale of Devastation, Green Sun Zenith, all the amazing stuff. Your friend is a Roxanne deck that just copies her a bunch and makes a ton of meteors. Yeah, nah. Nah, we out here in upper bracket 4, slamming stuff with the extra mana that it creates. That's what we up about. That's what we up about. You can copy Roxanne, I get it. It's a good strategy. We have it in this deck, don't get me wrong. But I'm here to slam. That's what I'm here for. And then we can kill the table through Reckless Fire Weaver triggers of whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, we deal 1 damage to each opponent. So we're going to go for more of a group slug aspect of this. And then we've got Zorn to double the amount of treasures we make from Old Gnawbone and Ancient Brass Dragon. Super, super, super good. I actually just traded for a foil Old Gnawbone. I was really happy with that. And then I'm hoping to pull an Ancient Copper Dragon out of some Final Fantasy packs that I just got in the mail. Very excited for that. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm going to be ending here a little early as my headache sadly has not gone away. I had a very bad headache earlier that almost stopped me from streaming. It's getting bad again, so I do need to head out. I will be back next week with videos. Boom, boom, boom. And the videos will be from my brand new office. I'm finally moving into my studio office and warehouse on the 20th. So thank you so much, guys. I'm very excited for next week. I'm very excited to be back to videos and very excited to start the Commander Professional Series. Thank you so much for enjoying the stream, guys. I'm going to go rest. Bye-bye. See ya. See you later, everybody. See ya.